Welcome to another episode, and today I'm on the course with this living legend, Kevin Pietersen. What an absolute treat. We've already played a couple of holes.
Yeah.
And I don't mind saying that you absolutely, I was gonna say trashed me, punished me.
Well.
You are some golfer.
Well, you've caught me on a good day, Inci. If we play tomorrow, the drubbing would potentially be the other way around.
We're gonna start off here on the par 3 14th at Wentworth. This is your playground.
Yeah, I like this. I like this place a lot. It's a beautiful, beautiful place to play golf. It's where I've learned to play golf. It's where I spend the majority of my time. We're very lucky to live very close, and it's the obsession of practice and training that just gets me here all day, every day. So my obsession with the game is on another level.
Yeah, well, I've seen the proof of it, and he's pretty good, guys. We're going to start off with a pretty tough hole. Everything's in to win from now, so do you know how far this is?
176 playing 191.
There you go. He's a proper player.
Oh my gosh, that might be in the hole.
That was so good. Is there any point I even hit a shot, guys? Can we just give him the hole? What a shot. Club 12. That deserves a Club 12.
Oh! Oh!
Can I get a round of applause, please?
Awesome, Inci.
Oh man, what a start. I'm glad we managed to get through that first hurdle.
We got there, we're putting.
Slowly but surely. You're clearly a super talented athlete. Played cricket your whole life. You've only been playing golf for the last 10 years or so.
Yes.
I already feel like you should be aiming to get on tour. I mean, how did it all start?
I've got an obsession with training. I've got a crazy obsession with trying to be the best version of myself. And I did that in my previous life as a cricketer. I never ever left any stone unturned wherever I was playing against whoever I was playing. And I just believe that the only way you can achieve something is through hard work.
Yeah.
And the right work. So I believe in the right kind of practice. I don't believe in just aimless training, aimless practice. So yeah, golf's a difficult game. It should be easier than cricket because ours is a moving ball. You get one chance. It's got a seam, it swings, it spins, hitting it off a surface. Here you've just got a ball that you just got to try and hit from A to B. But clubs change, wind, temperature. So for me, it was just that the progression from, I'd say, test match cricket, test match batting to golf is what sort of got me in that mental space to try and still believe that my brain is tuned in, even though I had retired from my previous job. So I actually see this as a continuation from test match cricket. So I still feel mentally like I am so engaged in a sport.
Yeah.
Because I can't be in cricket. Yes, I broadcast. Yes, I talk about it. Yes, I'm learning new things and occasionally play the odd game. But golf has given me that absolute focus to drill into being the best version of myself in something different.
But why golf, out of all things? Because as a cricketer, you
Because I can't go and play rugby.
Tennis?
Tennis, my knees are no good. My back's no good. I had to really retire because of my right knee. I had osteochondritis in my right knee.
Right.
I can't run anymore.
Right.
So I mean, I can occasionally play paddle and play tennis and that, but like everybody's obsessed with paddle, and I can't get an obsession with paddle just because of my knees and my back. So golf for me is I mean, look at this. It's beautiful, right? And I'm a wildlife guy. I'm a nature guy.
Yeah.
And to be out in the greenery, in the fresh air, and also being able to really focus on strategy, focus on progress, and focus on being the best for me is so important.
Do you think you were always meant to be a team player? Obviously, cricket is a team game. Golf is an individual sport.
Yes.
Do you enjoy it more, the fact that it's an individual game?
I do like the fact that it's an individual game, but cricket is also an individual game, just played as a team.
Right.
As a batter, you are there to bat. You're there to score runs, and you've got to go and find a way. So no one practices for you. Yes, there's a collective, and you've got to go in the field together, and you've got to field, and you've got to do all that kind of stuff. But a bowler goes to bowl, and that's what you're there for.
Yeah.
You're not taking wickets. There's somebody, there's a next cab in the rank. And same as a batter. A batter's got to go out there, and a batter's got to score runs. My job was to score runs. Nobody else can help me.
Yeah.
When I walk out at Lord's to bat, or the SCG, or in Cape Town, or in the Caribbean, it's you.
Yeah.
When you read the scorecard the next day in the newspaper, it's you.
Yeah.
If you're successful, everyone's happy with you. If there's not, so it's pretty similar. Yes, it's a team game, but at the end of the day, it's your job, your focus is to get the best out of yourself.
Yeah, a team game made up of great individuals. Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely.
Makes a lot of sense. I'm really hoping that's me on the green, but
yeah,
chances are
I was going to say I play a Callaway, but you do as well. Yeah.
Right, on to 15.
This is a hard hole.
That tree is always the line.
Which one? Which tree?
See the
left of the green?
left of the green, there's some little trees.
Yes, on the left,
Just
the big one on the left.
That, see that gap?
Yes.
The gap is pretty much my line.
Is that right?
Yeah, left corner, always.
Okay.
There we go.
Oh, and you've nailed it. Absolutely nailed it.
Yes, great shot.
There she is.
So Kevin, 2005 was a big year for you, wasn't it?
Yeah.
How much do you miss cricket, and also how did that year sum up your career?
Well, it started my career, and it was an amazing year actually just for the game in this country, because cricket wasn't a front page, back page kind of sport. It was inside the back pages, certainly nowhere near the front of a newspaper. But that 2005 Ashes was unbelievable for cricket in this country. Beating that great Australian side was unheard of. It was a great Australian side. Like, you can talk, there's great, people say people are great players, teams are great teams. That was a great Australian team. And for us to beat them here in that series, the weather was perfect, hardly had any rainy days. We fought fire with fire. We never took it from the Australians, we gave it back to the Australians. It was played in the right spirit. And we ended up front page, back page, middle page, all sorts of places in all the papers, all around the world. And so for the game of cricket in England, it was amazing. For certain players, it was also incredible for a lot of the players, because they started to become household names. And it was certainly a transition from being, the summer sport to being like one of these sports, one of the main sports in this country. And everybody who loved the game of cricket tuned in. And a lot of people who actually were 50-50 on cricket watched that series. And it's amazing. Even to this day, I can be somewhere and somebody will have that Ashes ticket from 2005 in their wallet.
No
And
way.
I'm not saying I do it hundreds of times. I'd say in the last 3 or 4 years, I've probably signed 2 of those.
Wow.
Because people just find that particular day in September in 2005 just so historic.
Yeah.
And so that Ashes series was incredible.
What was it like in the changing rooms though, when you know you're about to go head to head against such a strong team?
Yeah. It's hard.
Yeah.
Mentally, it's difficult. They picked a team for that series against that Australian side that didn't have the mental scarring that previous Ashes squads had, where the Australians just trashed England, continually trashed England. We hadn't beaten Australia for 18 years.
Wow.
So for us to go in there with a couple of whippersnappers and really give it to the Aussies, that's what they wanted and that's what they got.
Yeah.
And luckily, a lot of us were playing very good cricket. Some wonderful players in that team. It was the happiest I was ever in an England dressing room. Just the coolest, nicest, calmest, most talented bunch of people. And it was just, it was amazing. It was just so joyful to just be around that environment. It's a golf shot.
come round.
Stay there.
Ah, that'll be all right.
You'll just be in that little hole.
I'll take that.
Yeah, yeah. Cut.
God, you're a serious ball striker, aren't you? So how difficult or easy did you find the transition to getting into golf? Because it's a lot of field, isn't it?
So there was like an overlap. I finished playing for England in 2013-14. We moved out of London, so we moved here when my little boy turned 4. We looked around all the schools in London, and we never saw green spaces for him to run around and play sport and just be a little toddler. Because we lived in Chelsea in central London, and it's just there's just no green spaces there. Schools, you get bus to this, bus to that. So we were like, no, that's not how I was brought up. That's not how Jess was brought up. And so we just decided we're upping and we're leaving. So we came out here and we saw green spaces.
Yeah.
I was still on the T20 circuit. So I was playing in the Caribbean. I was playing IPL. I was playing South Africa. I was playing Pakistan. I was playing Big Bash in Australia. So I still got my my taste of competitive cricket, very competitive cricket. And the travel was still there. But I started playing golf 2013-14 when we moved out here. And it actually made batting in the shortest format in T20 cricket so much easier.
Right.
Because of the arc and because of the way that I swung the ball or swung the bat. And I just wished that I'd played more golf when I actually played proper cricket, test match cricket, because I found like I hit the ball so much sweeter playing golf from the golf swing that I was teaching myself. I was hitting more sixes. I was having more control on the blade, and I was using my body way more. Whereas I was handsy and wristy as a cricketer. Whereas in golf, I mean, it's body, right? So it's all about body, the biggest muscles. Yeah. Cricket's here, and here. So I was flippy and sweepy and very wristy. Whereas when I started playing golf and using the bigger muscles, it just opened up a whole new world of strike. So
I tried to brush up my knowledge on cricket, knowing that we were going to catch up today. The first thing pretty much that everyone said when they were describing you was how creative you were.
Yeah.
Where has that creativity come from?
I was a squash player when I was a kid. And I used to play as a family, playing against my mum and my dad. And they were brutal. Like it was in the Southern Hemisphere, in South Africa, competition is everything. Yeah. You're just super, super competitive. I grew up in a family with 3 brothers. And that again was more tough than any test match that I ever played. Playing against your brothers in the back garden or playing squash against mom and dad. I mean, you give me that great Australian side or playing against South Africa in South Africa any day of the week compared to the toughness of playing those family games. So why I say that is because I had to become really good at squash. Squash is a family game that we played. And I think I got very creative through wrist work. Right. A lot of players that play hockey also can be very creative because they're very good with their wrists. And so I was really good at manipulating certain positions and gaps in the field with the ball because of how good I was with my wrists. And that's what gets me into trouble actually here sometimes on the golf course. I will try and, I'll never miss the ball. I'll always find the ball, but I don't always find the ball in the right place. That's just golf for you. But I'm not always using the biggest muscles. So I think that's where my creativity came from playing squash and being really, really wristy, especially with my right hand. Speaking of wristy, you're gonna probably I'm gonna have to be here.
I was actually going to ask your opinion on how you played this hole.
How do I play this hole? I can't hit driver here because I run out of fairway. So there is one bunker at, I did read it. It was around 220 and then 270 is the next one. So for me, it's an iron. It's a 4 iron up to the middle there and then it's a wedge.
That's what the pros do. So let's see it. It's still your honour. Yeah. That's just perfect. There. Absolute stunner. Yeah. Great shot.
Thank you. See?
Don't fight it.
Don't fight it.
A1. So I was asking you about equipment back in the day, because to me a cricket bat looks like a piece of wood.
Yes.
With all due respect.
Yeah.
How important was it for you to have the right equipment?
The bat was very important. And I just had the specifics of what I liked. And it's quite easy to make them, and then they come out fairly similar. We've got great bat manufacturers, we've got great wood. It's English willow, so it's not like you're going to go and try and search steel, graphite, like you do here in the game of golf. It's English willow, and one type of the willow, and then you find a bat manufacturer that makes it good, and you find a bat maker that makes your bats good. And then it's pretty cool, because if you change from one brand to the other, your bats don't change. You just change the stickers. So that's where we are very, very lucky in cricket. Whereas golf, obviously, when you're changing, there's a lot of things that change. But in cricket, it's one type of wood. You've got your guy that makes your bats, and you swap the stickers.
Have you ever tried making your own bat?
No, but obviously I've spent a lot of time with bat makers. And
but that's
they're just beautiful. They're just masters. They know what they're doing, and they just love it. They just stay in the factory all day, and they just craft on those bats. And then, yeah, I mean, the weight distribution, you change the weight distribution in your bat. You like bowed, you like flat toe at the bottom, or you like it round. You've got different types of handles. Then you put how many grips. So you want 2 grips, 3 grips, you want 1 grip. So there's a lot of stuff that you do, but for me, it was all about when I looked down at my bat, it just needed to be perfect, because I was an attacking player, and I knew that as an attacking player, I needed a good piece of willow.
And when you look down at a golf club, what do you love to see?
What do I love to see in a golf club? I've never really been asked this question. What do I like to see? I don't. For me, a golf. It's very feel. It's feel. For me, it's feel. It's what does it feel like? So just when I start messing about with my wrists, and it's about the weight. So the weight gives me my feel, and it did with my bat as well. It was all about weight. So looking down, and I knew my weight was about 10 pound 8. If I went to the subcontinent, I might just top it up. 2.8. I'd go up to 2 pound 10 ounces. In the subcontinent, just because of the conditions there. But yeah, it was all about weight and just that pickup. And I'll do the same here with golf. It's about that pickup, and if my pickup is good and my takeaway is good, then I'm happy. So I got that one away, huh?
That was perfect. How far do you have in?
170 in. So what I did wrong. So what I did wrong on the previous hole, I'm going to do right here.
Oh, wow.
See, that's what I should have done on the previous hole. Look at that.
You 100% pointed that out earlier, and you've learned from your mistakes, and boom, that's the sort of result we get.
It is.
Is there any, actually, correlating that to your career?
Yeah.
We all make mistakes, right?
Yeah.
Even the best athletes in the world, they miss shots. I'm sure you've made loads of mistakes.
But you got to forget and go again.
What's the greatest mistake that you've made that has been most beneficial to you? That has actually added value from learning that lesson?
Oh, goodness, in cricket you make so many mistakes, and you repeat those mistakes because you play so much. And there's so many different facets to the game. Playing against spinners, playing against seam bowlers, playing in different conditions. Because you play for such a long time, and you do make the mistake.
Yeah.
Not too often. I mean, you do. You make it a lot throughout your career. I think if you repeat the same mistake in a series, that's what sort of really annoyed me. If I do it sort of 2 or 3 times in a test tour, in a one-day series, that really get to me. But you're learning all the time. There's not just one thing where I can say to you, Inci, oh, it was this time on this occasion in this country at this ground. You're learning all the time. You're evolving all the time. But it's just about also controlling the narrative and controlling your emotion and controlling the guy on your shoulder that's saying you can do this because you're very good. Of course you can do this. Go for it. It's that logical and emotional side of your brain that you have to understand. And I think that I found that out the last 4 or 5 years of my career. I started to understand my brain more. And when you understand your brain more, then you can sort of tell the emotional side of your brain to shut up, and you can sort of understand the logical side of your brain. And
that's fascinating.
It is. It's something
and
that
it probably isn't easy to do.
No, so I spent a lot of time with a psychologist on that very point, just understanding that the emotional part of your brain is the part of your brain that's going to try and protect you, and it's going to be sensitive to fear, to outcomes, to failure.
Yeah.
But then the logical part of your brain, so that shot there that I've hit there now, it's 6-iron, 185 into the wind. Emotional part of my brain was going, oh no, you can miss this left. What happens if you don't hit it hard enough? What happens if you just... But then what I've said to myself there while I was just down there, I was like, how many times do you hit a 6-iron, 185 yards? So I was able to put the emotional part of my brain to bed, and I just took logic over, and I said, just swing sweet, just swing easy. It's 185. You've done it. It's good.
So how was your fitting experience? Have you had many custom fits before?
Yeah, I've had a few custom fits before. It was pretty cool actually at the HQ, Callaway's HQ. Just going in and working with somebody who hadn't seen my golf swing before. So we did the driver first because that's where I've had all my issues.
You flush it.
No. I flush it. Well, I sort of flush it now. For a number of years I didn't. And so we hopped into this beautiful triple diamond. And
they're
honestly,
for proper players, by the way.
Huh?
They're for proper players, by the way.
Are
The
they?
triple diamond, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
You see, didn't know that.
Flex.
I didn't know that. But yeah, it's just a beautiful experience, just learning about your swing, because I like to learn the finer details and understand swing speeds and ball speeds and types of shafts, swing weights. And so, I sort of jumped into that environment and I loved it. Like, we just spent an hour hitting ball after ball, changing shafts, changing heads. It was just fun, because I was just like a little kid there, swinging a golf club, just whacking the ball. And like, I think it was Chris, he was just saying, just give it a smack and we'll find the club for you. And it's amazing how you can change a shaft and it just changes everything. But then you can change it the other way and all of a sudden the ball just goes left. And he's like, no, not for you. This is for you. No, not for you. And then we came to a situation where I hit a couple of balls with the driver that I've got at the moment, and he said, stop there. This is it. This is the one. And ever since then I've just been hitting it beautifully, and it's amazing how much more confident I am on the golf course now because I can hit my driver. And my iron play, if I'm allowed to say it, is very good. Like, my iron play is something that I really pride myself on. And it's just now about fine-tuning that driver and getting that driver to a place where, I mean, I'm hitting it pretty good at the moment. But if I really, really get confident with that driver, then I think I can start shooting lights out.
Well, you got a triple diamond in the bag, you're doing something right.
You tell me.
Well, it's seldom that I ever see a tour pro hitting this fairway. No, hitting this fairway.
Hitting the fairway.
Because it's a dogleg right to left, but it cambers and it slopes left to right. It's so hard, especially in the summertime when you're playing it. Well, this is one of 2 back-to-back par 5s that we're finishing up on.
So.
Welcome to the Stripe Show, everyone. Kevin Pietersen. Oh, wow.
That's a goodie.
That is so good. I've just told the nation how difficult it is to hit this fairway, and you could not place it more in the middle.
Well, I would like to have it 50 yards further. As is that. Beautiful. It's over the road.
So Kevin, SORAI is something that you founded and is very close to your heart. Tell us a little bit more about it.
Yeah, I mean, a couple of holes ago, you asked me about sportsmen when they retire and they sort of get lost and they don't know how to deal with it. And I gave the answer saying you leave an environment where you're very comfortable and you shift off to another place where you're not very comfortable. And I suppose what's lacking is when you, in your day job, there's purpose. And you know what your purpose is, and you're driven by excellence to achieve stuff. And I think that what I've been able to do leaving cricket is still have purpose and find stuff that I'm incredibly emotional about. And protecting endangered species, looking after and trying to make sure that we don't lose the last wild herd of white and black rhino in the Kruger National Park is something that drives me every day. And so in 2000, I think it was 2016, 17, we set up SORAI, Save Our Rhino Africa India, that puppy. And,
cool logo, by the way.
Yeah, it's a nice logo. My son drew it. We were at our lodge in South Africa, and he drew it one day. He was just drawing in the kitchen, and he came up with a rhino. And so
what an artist!
Yeah, so we've not moved from there. And it's something that is very, very close to my heart. So we spend a lot of time in Africa. I'm actually going on Sunday. I'm there for the week. And we've been just doing the most amazing work with the most amazing people. Like, there are just some of the coolest people out there who do some of the hardest work that isn't rewarding and no one sees it. Like, when we play in the bright lights and you do well, you're glorified. You do poorly, you get hammered, but people still love you because you're a sportsman. Whereas these people are risking their lives. And I think that's what really drives me every day, to try and make sure that we do as much as we can for conservation through SORAI, through my foundation, because I've sat in riverbeds with these kids and I've seen letters that they've written to their mum and dad. And it is some of the most emotional stuff, because as beautiful as they say the Kruger National Park is, or a lot of these safari places are, there's a war zone. And these animals are being poached and killed and butchered. I've seen numerous rhino killed, seen elephant killed. And when you see that, it's something. When you smell it, it's another thing. That smell, you just cannot get rid of that smell. And so we spend a lot of our time, I spend a lot of my time fulfilling that purpose of doing good by the people that are trying to protect these wild animals and being the voice for the voiceless. And that's why I spend so much time doing it. And that's what sort of gives me that drive to get up every day and know that I'm doing something. So it's not a case of just waking up in the morning and going, okay, what am I doing today? I don't know what to do today. I can feel my phone's buzzing in my pocket. I've got to be in South Africa for an event. I'm hosting a big event for 28 people at Leopard Creek next week, which is all dedicated to rhino conservation. So this kind of stuff just really gives me drive, and it gives me that purpose to say there are things out there that are much bigger, way more important than a game of cricket, that we need to look after and we need to protect. Just creating that human fence as well is something that's so important to me, and that's why we bring people out, and that's why we bring whoever it is as close to the action as we can, because I want humans and us to understand that we can make a difference. And
it's very eye-opening.
There's a lot you can do. These electric fences are one thing and they do a job, but I'm a firm believer in a human fence, and that's you and I talking about a situation and protecting a situation. So yeah, a lot of time is spent doing that.
Oh, dear me.
You slung it around the corner.
We have advanced forward.
Just didn't get off the ground.
Oh, look at that shape. That's going to be wicked.
I think
Great
it's good.
shot. Some player. So What does SORAI actually do, you know, and also for the viewers watching at home, how can they get involved in supporting?
Yeah, so we have a merchandise catalog which sells the t-shirts, the caps, etc.
Merch.
Yeah, so there is merch, and it's pretty cool. And we've had some wonderful success with that. We had a real struggle through COVID. We almost lost everything in COVID.
Wow.
But we managed to, fortunately, get through COVID. I know a lot of startups and small brands lost their way, and there was a lot of heartache through that, but we luckily survived. But I would say the main part of our business is being an enabler, is helping brands to collaborate by giving them what they want, and us getting what we want, and sort of having that partnership which runs a little bit deeper than a normal, say, sponsorship. It's not the brand, it's the animal, and what can we do as collectives to supply what we need in order for the animal to survive. And that's how I approach every single partnership that we've got. Nice, beautiful actually.
Get right
That'll
over
be just left side. Nice.
Get in. Oh my God!
Oh.
How did that not go in? Right, Kevin, we're gonna save the best moment to the end. This is the final hole, the iconic 18th here at Wentworth.
Yeah.
We're gonna play a little scramble. How do you feel about that? A little team effort.
I don't mind that.
You can be team captain.
Okay. If there's thousands of people standing next to the tee box, I trust your drive more than mine. So I'd like you to tee off first.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I'm gonna flush it. The wind's
Feels
actually
like the
helping
wind's
us.
actually behind us now.
It's behind off the left, which is so ideal on this hole.
Right, come on. Oh
Yes!
my goodness, what a golf shot.
Definition of lacquer right there.
That is as lacquer as it gets.
Get in there. One of your goals is to try and get down to scratch. So what's your
Yes.
handicap right now?
2.3 index.
Do you think you can do it?
Do I think I can do it? Yes. Do I think that I'm going to have a bit of a process getting there? Yes. Am I scared of the process? No. And see, I travel so much, and I know a lot of my guys, the buddies here, the pros, the guys that work here at Wentworth and that, and they just say, like, you just need a block, like you need a 6-month block of staying at home. Because like I'll come in for a couple of weeks, I'll hit millions of balls, I might play maybe once or twice, and then I leave again.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's quite difficult. I think Wentworth are doing the most unbelievable job with that short game area. There's going to be, I reckon, one of the best short game areas in the UK. Well, there will be here at Wentworth later on in the summer. And I think when that comes to fruition, it's going to make my job a lot easier, because hitting off the grass, practicing short game, practicing putting on surfaces that are very similar to game day are the places that you need to be able to take your game from practice into play. Hitting off Astro all the time, I don't think helps that much, but that's not an excuse.
Yeah, it's easy to get steep
I'm gonna,
on it, isn't it?
yeah, and I'm gonna work my backside off, and I feel like I've made a good start. I feel like I had a real issue with driving the ball for a very long time, but I feel like, and I think you've seen now that I'm not far off hitting a pretty good drive. I'd say 90% of my golf is self-taught. I have had guys say, yep, try this, do this, why don't you do this? But I've never really employed a coach or a trainer or anything to really understand my golf to a level where I can go back to that person and he goes, you're not doing this.
Yeah.
And I don't know, maybe I need to do
But
that.
even the best-
Maybe I do.
But even the best players in the world have coaches. You know, a fresh pair of eyes. How do you plan on making that progression?
Maybe that's something that I need.
Maybe.
But how do you find somebody who you trust enough to, because I am very coachable, but I'm a feel guy. I'm not too technical, if you know what I mean. So if you're going to tell me to start changing my swing when I don't think there's huge technical changes, or you're going to tell me that I need to do this with the golf club, like, I'm a feel guy. Like when I struggled, people told me, and my coaches, they were like, right, how does this feel? I want you to do this. I want you to feel this. So I suppose you've got to find somebody who you can trust.
You've been privileged enough to play golf with some of the world's best golfers, and you do enjoy picking their brains, don't you?
Absolutely. I remember when I was a senior player in my job, and you get the right players that asked you the right questions. I mean, the greatest in the game at the moment, Virat Kohli. I mean, I remember captaining the IPL franchise in 2008 with some of the greatest players in the world at that time in our franchise in Bangalore. And Virat used to sit on the bus and come and ask the right questions. And I just thought, right, this kid has got it. Like he just kept asking the right questions. And I mean, have a look at him now. So yes, that'll never stop. If you think you know everything, I'm afraid to say that spiral, she's going to come very, very quickly. Keep engaging your brain. Keep learning. Why? You can't stop learning. I mean, I'm 43 years of age. Like, you can't stop learning. It's crazy to think that you know everything.
Come on. Draw in.
It's not wet. It'll be front side of the green.
That is wicked.
Yeah, not bad.
That is perfect. Great shot. 225, right?
Yeah, 225.
I've got to catch this absolutely perfect.
But that's 225 flag. I reckon it's a 200 carry.
It's 213 to carry on line with the flag. Is that the...
Yeah, but stay right.
I will. Yes.
200 on the right.
Yes, Captain. Oh, go.
What hair?
Owen, what did I tell you? He's just trying to make me look stupid. Honestly.
We're on. We're playing scramble. We're on.
So we've got the World Cup coming up.
Yes.
Big game. England, defending champs.
They are.
Who do you fancy?
When we were playing the World Cup in the Caribbean 14 years ago, we won the World Cup.
Flex.
So England has a very good chance of winning the World Cup again in a country where we've won the World Cup. And being defending champions, I would go so far as to say they've got a very good chance of getting to the top 4, and then it's anyone's business. And so I feel that India have got a real good chance. Pakistan have also got a real good chance. You can never count out Australia. That's the issue. But when you also have a look at the South African batting lineup, the England's batting lineup, with what the batters are doing in the Indian Premier League at the moment, it's such a difficult answer. England, of course, they've got a chance because they are defending their title and they're a magnificent short ball team. So it's gonna be some tournament.
Come
some
on, England!
tournament. Yes. Yes.
It's time for slam dunk this. I'm going to chip it in. How would you play this shot? How do you see it getting played out? Land it short, one hop, dribble?
Just because, to be fair, if you have a look here, it's wet, right? So if you do land it short, I've got a feeling that it's just going to stop. So what I would be doing is trying to carry it as far as I could.
Would you?
Yeah.
Just from the numerous amount of times I've had to chip today, and nothing has stopped, I'm going to actually try and pitch this one short.
Are you?
To try and get it.
Okay, and get it roll out.
Yeah, so I'm going to try and hit this slightly lower.
Okay.
I'm going to nudge it further back in my stance.
I'll give it a go after.
Sure. Nearest to the pin. I'm just going to try and, I'm seeing 2 bounces on the fringe and the third one on the greens, trickle, release, and then go in the hole.
As you say.
One, two. Should have gone further right.
So it has actually rolled out though, hasn't it?
Yeah, just 6 feet left.
No, that's fine. I just thought that a ball would stop there.
Oh, wow. That was so good. You really put me to shame.
That was so lucky. So lucky.
How buttery was that? Great shot. I don't like playing with you. Show me up every time. So Kevin, you've teed me up absolutely perfectly. This is a right half birdie putt.
I am just going to quietly say that chip deserved a birdie. So Inci.
I won't let you down. Don't worry. It's in. It's in. I just wanted to take the scenic route. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Really enjoyed that.
Yeah, that
and
was
you
awesome.
are some player, Kevin.
No. You've caught me on a good day.
Should we go to the clubhouse and grab a
Gunners?
little drink? What should we go to?
I've not drunk since January.
Gunners is the right day for it.
It's a beautiful day.
I think your journey down to scratch is going to be, I'm not going to say piece of cake, because it's going to require some hard work, time and effort.
Yeah.
But totally doable.
Yeah.
And then after that, I want chapter 2 to be all about plus figures.
Plus a handicap?
Yeah. You've got it.
You are sitting.